Good morning, everyone. It's Tuesday. We're getting ready to move into the next part of our prep work for our assessment. That's tomorrow. Yesterday, you should have completed your assignment from Friday, since that was something that we needed to complete before we move into the next section. And then I also gave you 3 different choices to choose from in terms of the psychology of home, the definition of home, and then home is where the heart is, but where is home? So you should have chosen one of those 3. They are in yesterday's folder, so please make sure you do that and have access to it for this next part for today. Today we are going into our class Padlet, which we'll look at in a second. And you are going to give me at least one piece of evidence from your article that shows an example of expository elements. So your example should have maybe an anecdote, or it might have a fact or a quote from somebody credible or something like that. You just find at least one. And you're going to copy and paste that into our class Padlet, okay? So here are your instructions. Once you've located your elements, you select one piece of evidence. You're going to need to make sure you identify that element. Remember, you can go back into yesterday's assignment to look at the umbrella. And then look at my example. And then underneath the title of your chosen article, that's where you're going to create your entry. So you'll copy your evidence, make sure you use quotation marks, and then respond to the question, how does the evidence contribute to the author's purpose? So if this were mine and I were using my purple house as my example, I chose this quote. The issue is bigger than my house. This was the beginning of paragraph 6. The issue is about historical inclusion. I want to paint my house a traditional color, but I don't think it unreasonable to include the traditions of Los Tejanos, who had a great deal to do with creating the city of San Antonio we know today. So here I'm identifying it and I'm having to discuss how the evidence contributes to purpose, okay? So Cisneros uses an anecdote, right, the issue about her house, and logical reasoning. She says, I don't think it's unreasonable, right, to express her concerns. Note that is one of the first purposes on your chart. To express her concerns about the main issue in painting her house purple in a city that has a strong Tejano cultural background. One sentence. I identified the elements. I made sure I went and said what the purpose was and how her personal experience, right, and how this evidence that I chose relates to her purpose, okay? So when we go back into Tuesday's folder, you're going to click on the link that says Class Padlet. When you open it, you'll see my sample entry with my title of my text. Here are the directions again, and my example again, okay? So if you read the definition of home, you'll click on this plus sign and do your own entry, and so on and so forth. The more we can focus on this, the easier tomorrow's assignment will be, because you'll have a running list of examples and evidence that you can use to help you with your analysis, okay? This is our way of working together on part of our assessment. So if you don't contribute and you're just using other people's answers, I'm going to be going ahead to dock half your points on your test for tomorrow, because that's not fair, okay? Sorry, there's the morning bell. So just to recap, complete Friday's assignment. Make sure you've chosen one of these things to read. And then all you're doing is this sample entry in the Padlet. You've got the example on the Padlet itself, and then you have my instructions that you can open up in a new window, okay? If you're confused, you can always go back to last week's videos, to Friday's video, to yesterday's video, and rewatch them, and then just do your best, okay? That's all I can ask for. And then that way I have time to fix things before we get into our assessment. That's a major grade tomorrow, okay? So I look forward to seeing you on Zoom today. I look forward to hearing your questions and reading them either via text or via email. And yeah, so happy Tuesday, and we'll see you in a little bit. All right.